Wilderness content. This is something that most ultimate Ironman are loath to do, including myself, but you can't avoid it sometimes. For example, the Wilderness Diary, which requires you to kill each of the wilderness bosses, and here I am trying to find a free world. Now, why don't Ultimate Ironman like doing this? Because we have a death mechanic that is different from main accounts. When we die, everything on our body is lost. The protection from item prayer does not work. So what that means is if you do not do the correct method of storing your items, aka dropping them on the ground or on the table, then you will lose everything, your progress, if you get PK'd, which has happened to me multiple times. So today, I just want to really quickly talk about some more advanced death mechanics for Ultimate Ironman. I've already made a video describing the more basics of it, which I'll link above. But today, let's look at some of the more advanced things that you might end up using if you want to do content in the wilderness instead of just running around naked. So to start it off, the table trick. I believe I mentioned this previously, but you can put an item on a table, and you don't have to be an Ultimate Ironman. Any account can do this. And that item will stay on that table for 10 minutes instead of the 1.5 minutes time normally if you were to just drop it on the ground. This is very important because you want to put the gear that you're going to use in the wilderness here. And it is also public, so if someone else were to come here, right at this moment and see my items, they can come and they can grab it for themselves. But that's okay. All I'm putting down are like dragon daggers, black d'hide, things that I can easily replace, but things that are useful in the wilderness because I want to actually do content this time. I'm gonna put some food there as well. Again, these are all very easily replaceable. And the whole idea here is in this 10 minutes, you need to go set up your death pile, which is basically where the primary items are that will stay for 1 hour if you were to die. Okay, so all the combat gear that I want is on the table. I now have a 10-minute timer counting down. And in this time, I need to go make sure my real items, the ones that I want to keep safe, which currently is in a pile, I want to put that into a new pile because this pile is about to expire soon. Again, refer to my previous video. Death mechanics has changed quite a bit, but essentially it's still the same idea. You want your items to drop on the ground when you die, and that way they'll stay there for 1 hour. In that 1 hour, you can go do dangerous stuff. Next, you want to go to the wilderness to put the item in your bag. And this clip was from before the Ferox Enclave update. So nowadays, you can go to the Ferox Enclave and store all your item in the bag, making it much safer. Actually, a lot of Ultimate Ironman I know have been PK doing this. See, I'm currently in level 1 wilderness, trying to do this. If someone were to come and freeze me and then spec me out with an AGS or something, I could just die. Okay, now that we have everything we want in the bag and more all on the inventory, it's time to create a new death pile. I like doing it this way. I like to come to the metal dragons because they can hit up to a 50 with this fireball. I just have to teleport away right before I die, like so. Make sure I don't drink the rejuvenation pool because I have to do it again. Go straight back to Edgevale and pick the nettles, which will damage myself every time I pick it. And that way I can create a fresh new death pile and start a new timer for 1 hour. Keep in mind, I have to do this in 10 minutes because the items I have in the table that I showed previously, those will despawn in 10 minutes. So it's not too bad, as long as you plan it out in advance. And that's the whole trick with playing Ultimate Ironman. A lot of stuff you just have to plan out because you don't have a readily accessible bank. You have to kind of use these pseudo banks. There has been recently a pretty good update as well, where if you were to log out or disconnect, the timer pauses. So that's really nice. Previously, if you disconnected with a death bank and you only had like 5 minutes left on it, and you disconnected and couldn't reconnect, well, too bad, those items were gone. Now, the timer pauses when you log out. So there you go. So now I have a brand new death bank. I'm going to pick up the items that I dropped on the ground outside of my piles because I want to use them. And I'm going to go back to Verok where I used the table. No, here, you guys might want to check here sometimes. I use this table a lot. You could get some freebies. But anyways, all the items are still there, as you can see. And we are gonna... Oh, actually, wait a minute. Oh, I lost the black d'hide. You see that? The black d'hide, it despawned because I went over the 10 minutes mark. Yeah, it's pretty easy to actually go over. So now I have to go remake my black d'hide. One good application of this strategy is to use noted dragon bones, which you can get from many places. including actually noted Dagonos bones if you have the elite Firmnik done. When you get those and you want to use it on the chaos altar, you have to usually create the death pile just because that is a very hot PK spot, and I've died there multiple times myself already, but it's still worth it to use because it's the best use of the bones prayer wise. So essentially we would come here and we would get a bunch of noted bones and just go over there. Don't forget the gold to unnote the bones, which is what I'm doing here. And I fully expect to lose everything in my inventory there, but luckily I don't think I lost any this time. So it was well worth it. And that's it, guys. This is how Ultimate Ironman have to do Wildy content. So whenever you see an Ultimate Ironman with like 1,000 VTN kills, well, they did this literally 1,000 times. Bye. Have a good day. Happy New Year's.